And by now, we know that you're used to the wondrous Wonder Woman Wednesday edition of the #1 sugar-fied edition of Wake Up Nigeria, when we women take complete control of the entire show.
Now, if this is the first time you're joining us for this edition, it's quite simple. It's about us with the right spread of deliciousness. Oh my gosh, that brings sweet memories. And a pinch of yum.
Speaking of a pinch of yummy, there's a lot of yummy stuff coming your way, and we'll be showing you little by little. Hopefully, you're going to be able to join us from wherever you are. Take us with you on this journey like no other. Well, it's going to be mind-blowing, so just make sure you have us right there in your pocket. Just make sure you download the app. That's for iOS or indeed Android phones. Yeah, you can have the app.
So my mind is on the person who is so busy in the kitchen right now. When you said yummy, I thought of her, and I was saying to myself, are we talking about black chocolates? Because I've not seen black chocolate. I've seen dark chocolate.
Wow.
Hi, guys. Hi, ladies.
Doing?
I'm good. How are you doing this morning?
Very well. You look good.
Thank you very much, considering how my morning has gone or has been so far.
Well, you don't look like what your morning has been, so that's fine.
We never look like what we've been through, isn't it amazing?
Okay. Moving on.
It looks like an inner biker chick is coming out today. That's
the leather?
Yeah,
Nah, she still looks chic no matter how she pulls.
Did you say?
She's all right. She's all
Thank you very much, Mary.
Okay. Make sure you watch us on YouTube and Facebook. Now, don't forget to subscribe as well. You subscribe on our YouTube channel and follow us on all our social media handles: Instagram, Facebook. Still hard to take Twitter on my mouth. I almost said it.
It is really hard.
TVC Connect. And don't forget to use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC.
Now, for what we have lined up, we have, of course, our relationship discussion coming your way. There's some amazing women doing amazing things, you know, and it just really helps me feel a lot more positive. But then again, there are some ladies, like one we're going to be talking about later on, who have a very alternative mindset about how to deal with very relevant matters of the day.
Anyways, the focus is not going to be on her. The focus is going to be on the issue.
Okay.
On the matter, so we are not giving her some publicity.
Amen. Yeah. Speaking of publicity, hello.
I know, right?
Yes.
I brought a little, you know, dark side of me. You know what I mean? My dear. That's how my alarm did not ring on time today.
Oh, my goodness.
It was as if the Lords of Lords had good intentions for me. I don't know. I just know that I felt something just tap me and say, yeah, man,
you better get up.
Wake up.
Okay.
And then, because the shorter routes we take, you know, out of, you know, into town, is quite bad at the moment, so we have to take like a longer route, and then the traffic.
Oh my gosh.
Like I spent a whole good 30 minutes in that traffic.
So wait, you went through all that and you still look like this?
What?
Is that mem now?
It can't be cut and fresh.
Not them. But seriously though, I'm actually really happy at you know, the way women are beginning to own themselves.
Right.
One of the joys I feel is even housewives are now beginning to see what they do as valuable.
Yeah.
For many years, women were made to feel they were nothing if they were housewives.
And even mostly relegated.
Yeah, mostly relegated. But now you are even told that you even deserve some kind of payment, some kind of compensation. And I find that really rewarding.
So if you are a housewife out there, just realize you are the CEO of that house. It is your business.
And if you go and say you are CEO, it's not, it's a CEO. You are the MD.
Yeah, the chief
before you know this, before we start the whole story of who is CEO, who is MD.
Oga is chairman of the board. But you are the CEO.
You know what, let's take the weather, and of course we'll give you the news updates right after.
It's about time for us to take a news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. And it says here that the IPOB lawyer and lead counsel to Nnamdi Kanu, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, says he has confirmed through a correspondence from the Federal High Court, Abuja, the arrest and extradition of his client, Mr. Ejiofor. And he has brought before the Federal High Court, number 2, Abuja, yesterday on an 11-count charge, though without his knowledge. Following the adjournment of the case to the 26th day of July 2021 for continuation of the trial. He says that a legal team led by him will be in court on this date. He says Nnamdi Kanu must be given a fair hearing trial, which is his constitutionally protected right. The Makurdi Zonal Office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arraigned the chairman of the Benue State Independent Electoral Commission, Loko Joseph, the Secretary Seriki Mansa, the Treasurer Akanje Akula, and 5 other members, commissioners, before Justice Abdul Dogo of the Federal High Court in Makurdi. The defendants are facing 23-count charges bordering on money laundering of about 500 million naira, on conspiracy, criminal breach of trust, misappropriation, money laundering, and forgery. The defendants pleaded not guilty to the charges preferred against them. They have been granted bail in the sum of 10 million each, with one surety in like sum, and the case has been adjourned till the 28th of September 2021 for commencement of the trial. The police in Delta State have arrested 3 suspected ritualists and 1 native doctor in 2 separate operations in different parts of the state. According to the acting police, or rather public relations officer of the Delta State Police Command, Edafe Bright, personnel in Ekwan, Uvie local government area, acting on intelligence, arrested 1 Godfrey Akuje in possession of 2 skulls, who also made confessional statements that one of the skulls was from Osun State and the other was that of the dead sister of one Ejiro Okoro. In a related development, personnel of the police on a stop and search operation arrested 3 suspected men at Nsukka Junction, Aniocha South, who boarded a commercial vehicle in possession of fresh human blood filled in a container. The suspects confessed to have murdered someone in Ebonyi State and were taking the blood to a native doctor in Kwale for ritual purposes before they were caught. Outside Nigeria, South Africa's former president, Jacob Zuma, has been sentenced to 15 months by the highest court in the country. This came after the Constitutional Court found him guilty of contempt after defying the court's order to appear at an inquiry into corruption while he was president. Mr. Zuma's time in power, which ended in 2018, was dogged by graft allegations. Businessmen were accused of conspiring with politicians to influence the decision-making process. The former president made 1 appearance at the inquiry into what has become known as state capture, but then refused to appear subsequently.
In determining the length of sentence, the majority has considered the unique circumstances of this matter, the nature of the breach, and the extent to which the breach is ongoing. Not only has Mr. Zuma failed to dispute the contempt of court, he has also failed to contest the degree of the contempt. Instead, he has aggravated it. The majority judgment orders an unsuspended sentence of imprisonment for a period of 15 months.
And that's all we have time for on the news for this hour. It's time for sports. Mary, it's all yours.
Welcome back. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. It's time we review the headlines making the rounds. And this morning on the cover of the Daily Trust newspaper, we have how federal government used Interpol to extradite Kanu. And at the top of the paper here, Afenifere to Buhari initiates, transmits restructuring bill to National Assembly. And also here we have no petrol price increase in July, says NMPC. And Yari Matawale reunites in APC. And at the bottom of the paper here, special edition of Insecurity in Southeast 2023. Igbo presidency will end Biafra agitation, says Ekore Madu. And of course, here we have a picture story of Nnamdi Kanu in handcuffs. And let's check what paper is next. Next up, we have the Punch newspaper, and on the cover, making the headlines here, we have EFCC fraud cases, 1,000 orders to start afresh. And here at the bottom of the paper, we have Matawale emerges Zamfara APC leader. Senators, reps, orders defects. And Lasmo officials arrested for extorting businessman absconding with bleeding wife. You can find that on page 4 of the cover of the paper. And here we have federal government team, NARD, in 3-hour meeting to avert doctor strike. And also here at the bottom of the paper, we have Oshun Mosque attack. ACP leads probe, commands summons warring parties, and 24 Ogun communities get eviction notice over impending flooding. And here also we have NLC rebukes 12 playing to tell industrial action in Kaduna. And let's see what's at the top of the paper here. We have electricity subsidy gulps 30 billion naira monthly, says federal government. And petrol should be more than 280 naira per litre, says Kyari. And finally, Nnamdi Kanu's arrest. ACF demands caution. Archbishop alleges woman trapped IPOP leader. And that's it on the cover of the newspaper, of the Punch newspaper this morning.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting because I started doing a mini MBA at university, and there was something they said in class. They said, find a gap and try and fill it, you know? And there are a lot of people that have decided to take different angles to fill a gap that needs to be filled. So there was a post put up on our group last few days ago where someone was trying to do just that. She has a very interesting take on relationship
Titi, all of
issues.
this for intro. You know, I was thinking I was going to talk about something else.
Because we're trying to tone it down.
No, we're not toning it down. It is actually an issue anyway.
Oh my God.
It is a big issue. It is a big issue. But when you think about it from that perspective.
Okay, with this, go ahead.
No, I'm handing
I feel like having an extra
You're handing over to me.
Yes, I'm handing over to you.
Have you ever
So
mixed
we need to-
conflicts with Cocoa Pops? Just I could not resist.
I've not.
You've
I've
not. I'm thinking
but
of it.
There's no better way to discuss this hot gist than with a plate of your Kellogg's
Is that not a bowl?
Cocoa Pops, or bowl rather. Anyone you call it, as long as I start going into
Oh,
your
yeah,
tongue
enter
at
the
end of
gist.
day.
Amen. Well, yeah,
Anyways,
let's
there's a popular, renowned Instagram sensation. She's a relationship enthusiast. I'm not going to mention her name because I'm not here to give anyone publicity. It was the topic that she's about to discuss or yet to discuss that's up for discussion on our table this morning. Anyway, let's say she wants to enlighten people on how to manage a cheating partner.
Cheating
Also help you.
husband or cheating partner.
Well,
Which
let's
one?
generalize it basically,
Or a
because in this
cheating
case,
man.
it's not just men that cheat, women also
Yes,
cheat.
but did she generalize?
Well, she
No,
didn't
she didn't.
generalize. What she
So
did is-
I want us to
okay, she
focus
wants
on
to
what
help
she
the
said.
women
Learn how to
and
live
learn
with a
and
cheating man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So
Wow.
can you live with a cheating spouse?
so I don't even think that's the question.
Okay.
I think, can you take advice from someone on how to live your life without putting yourself first? So that's how I see it. Once you begin to settle, once you begin to say, oh, you know this is happening, and then you now go for counseling or classes on how to manage that situation, to me, it doesn't make it seem like you're dealing with the actual situation. It feels like you've settled. That, okay, this is my lot in life. Oh. You know what, let me just figure out ways to deal with this, my lot in life. I don't know if I'm making sense.
I think the best way she could have addressed the situation, case and study here, cheating, the cheating partner, is how to manage the situation. In a case where you find out that your spouse is cheating, how do you manage it?
Okay.
I know that for many of us single ladies, before we got into marriage, we said cheating was one of our deal breakers. And then eventually you get married, and then you find out, it's something that I can deal with as long as,
You don't put it in my
apologized. We've all moved on. Or she has apologized. We've all moved on.
That part you just said, it doesn't work. Oh.
I'm just, you know, I'm
so when he apologizes,
it works.
But when she apologizes.
So I'm really sorry to say this. So I'm just going to put it as far away from me as possible. A friend of mine had this issue. Her husband was cheating continuously. And she could not bear it anymore. Now, it got to a point that she was feeling stifled. She had 3 children for him, same-sex children. And she just reached out to one of her colleagues and was like, listen, this is what I'm going through and everything. Now, in the process of the colleague, you know, being the listening ear and everything, one thing led to another, and it happened. Now, being the kind of woman she was, she told her husband that, oh, wow. Listen, this is what happened. This was what caused it. I'm so sorry. This man that has been cheating even brings his girlfriend home. Oh, my goodness. Dragged this lady to all their family members. Wow. Made her kneel down and beg. Embarrassed her before her children, her parents, everybody. Wow. And guess what? He still divorced her. Are you kidding? This man that even her enemies know that the man cheats on her. Like he wasn't hiding it all. And then it makes me wonder, is there a set law for men and a set law for women? Because when I saw that post of the woman saying, living with a cheating man, I was like... You know, in that regard, patriarchy plays a major role. You should have known what she went through. Do you understand? It plays a major role. It's quite unfortunate. But there are also cases where women cheat and then their partners forgive them. I mean, this could just be 1 in 10 or 1 in 100. You never know. Because now, even studies have it that more women cheat. There are more unfaithful women now than there are men. There have actually always been. I don't know about those statistics, MM, and I will really you should look it up. You should actually look it up. I will really go and look for those statistics. You should look it up. I can never believe that. I can never. And even then, if that is becoming true, I think it's something that's. You know Voltaire. Do you know Voltaire? Yeah. You know Voltaire? Do you know Voltaire's story? Do you know Voltaire was in love with a married woman and lived with her and her husband for years? Goodness me. And the husband was aware. But he was a man with free mind. Anyways, think about that. This conversation is getting more interesting. We would like to hear your thoughts on all our social media platforms. Please comment. Can you manage a cheating partner? Can you live with a cheating partner? We'd like to know what your thoughts are. I can live with my Kellogg Choco Pop. Please, let's take this break. We'll be back. Welcome back, people. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. And with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Anu. Hi. Good morning. You know, it's still taking me time to, you know, accept you as a chef. You know, because you're like into healthy eating. Yes. Yes. So, I mean, like, that's your specialty. Anyways, this morning, she will be making toast bread with avocado toast bread. Yes, bread. Quite an interesting recipe. You want to run us through what it takes? Okay, so this morning, I'm going to be making toast bread with avocado and fried eggs. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to mash my avocado. Let's talk about the ingredients first. Okay, so I'm going to be making use of eggs, avocado, bread. Then we have our black pepper, which is for the avocado, our salt. Then a mixture of barbecue and suya spice. Okay, and then we have our bread? Yes, and the bread. Okay, great. Explain this process. Okay, so I'm going to mash the avocado, then spread it on the bread. Okay. Then alongside, after frying the eggs. Are you mixing the avocado with any spread, like butter or mayonnaise? No. Okay. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt to the avocado. Okay. Then I fry the eggs, place it on the already spread avocado on the bread. Okay. Then I toast it. Okay. That looks interesting. Now tell me, for the eggs, what kind of eggs are we making? Scrambled, omelets, on the side up? Yeah, scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs. Yes. Fantastic. If you're just joining us on the show this morning, with me is Chef Anu, and we are making an easy breakfast recipe. Yes. Avocado toast bread. Now, for the toast bread, I see that we are going local. We're not using our toast machine. We're using... No, I'm actually using the toast machine. Oh, you're using the toast machine. Oh, yes. I don't see it. Yes, so, it's down there. Okay, it's somewhere around there. Okay, great. Let's get ready, right? All right. Good. Okay.
And what season is going into the eggs?
Just salt and our suya spice.
Okay. Gives you that suya flavor. And if you want to go, you know, wild with this recipe, I think something you can try is your suya, right?
Yes.
You could do like suya, avocado, and have your eggs.
And toast it.
That would be so yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Yes, it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this recipe. I haven't actually tried avocado and eggs before, but it's more like having your avocado salad. But the only difference here is you're frying your eggs instead of having boiled eggs.
Yes, and then the avocado is going to be mashed.
It's going to be mashed as well, yeah. Sounds exciting as well. And this is something you can also make for the kids. Oh, kids love bread and eggs. So I think this is just adding a little bit of twist, you know, to their morning breakfast, something different. And you could even make this into a snack that you could just, you know, add this to their meal while you're packing up their lunch boxes for school.
Yes,
they're really going to love this thing. You could just chop them up. You could just cut them into nice triangles, sandwich slices. Ooh, giving me an idea. Sounds interesting, I know, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and of course, I'm sure with the eggs, you don't have to make them into scrambled eggs. You could also do omelette or any style of eggs that you like.
Anyone.
All right, great. Okay. So, let's put it on the heater and, okay, let's check that out and see what's going on. All right. Okay, so we're just going to wait for this to come on while we heat up our pan and get our eggs scrambled. All right, great stuff happening here in the kitchen and more happening on the show. Of course, we have Titi on the couch.
All right, then. Now it's about time for us to take our segment dedicated to our friends at Lush Hair. Yes, indeed. Now, they're a very interesting brand, and today they've sent over a very interesting lady, the one and only Joy Adesoya. Now, she is the CEO of Braiding Vault and Braiding Vault Signature, and she is amazing. She's one of those power-packed women that just set their mind to something and make it happen. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Titi. How are you?
All right, then. So the Braiding Vault, when you hear that name, it just exudes a lot of power and passion. And then you hear braids.
Yes.
Okay, so you need to talk to us about how that all started.
So the idea came to me last year, January.
Okay.
And it was basically an idea that was birthed from going to the salons and realizing that there wasn't a niche catered for braiding.
Okay.
So when you go to a salon, everybody's kind of doing everything. There's jacks of all trades. Okay. And I wanted there to be a hub that people could go to and it could just focus on braiding.
Okay.
You go in, you get your braids done and you get out on time. And that is basically how the Braiding Vault came about.
Okay. So this is just, it's different from just having an average salon.
Yes.
You probably had to put some things in place that other people wouldn't have thought about when setting up a salon. What are those key things that were different?
For us, what was different is I think a lot of people are used to having different things in their salons.
Okay.
So for us, it was trying to keep it as minimal as possible because the focus really is the hair and trying to celebrate our heritage through the concept, through the design. So there was a lot of ironwork, there was a lot of minimal interior that had to go into place. So I didn't spend the overheads that a normal salon will spend.
Okay.
I actually spent less, but still got a really fantastic result.
Now, we've heard quite a lot about your establishment, but then when you think braids, a lot of us just think, oh, yeah, you get the attachment and you go over to the salon and then you sit down and they make the hair for you. Is this still the process or is there something different about what you do?
For us, what we do is we sell the customer service experience.
Okay.
Africans, black people, we associate braids with pain because growing up, it was painful, it was timely. And so the older we get, we tend to like divert to like weaves and other things that are kind of quick. So for me, what I wanted to do is create a pain-free experience in the shortest time possible. So if you've got the experience of braiding for 7 hours, we want to braid your hair in 3 hours, comfortable as possible, AC, nice chairs, nice environment, and we've been able to do that successfully.
I'm so glad to hear that because, you know, I had some really tough experiences as a child. Yes. I know some ladies out there probably remember when they sat by the gutter, yes. You know, they sat on a wooden stool and they used a nail to line their hair and, you know, there were all sorts of body odor issues. Let's leave that aside. You're working with Lush Hair. What
Yes.
sort of relationship do you have?
Lush Hair have been phenomenal in their partnership with us.
Okay.
They've really encouraged us in terms of visibility and given us the right products to engage with our clientele.
Okay.
We currently only stock Lush Hair in both our salons.
Okay.
And the colors that they have, the texture of their hair is also amazing. A lot of clients suffer from chemical reactions that have been put in synthetic hair.
Okay.
So there's a lot of itchiness, there's a lot of breakout in the scalps. And we find that with Lush Hair, that is significantly reduced.
Okay.
So we don't get the complaints we get like with other brands.
Okay.
And that's why we're sticking with them.
All right, then. So is it that they supply you or there's a special rate when I come to your place? I don't know.
Yeah.
Talk to us. What's the secret?
The secret is that they supply us the extension at a fantastic rate. At a rate that they're not probably giving anybody else.
Okay.
And they do it on a continuous basis.
Okay.
They also give us other forms of visibility, partnership, in terms of trying to reach young girls that are not motivated and want to do something, maybe braiding school and things like that.
Okay.
We've partnered with them and we've got a lot of engagement that will come out over the next few months.
So earlier on, I mentioned that, you know, amazing women are doing great things like filling, you know, spaces, a gap that needed to be filled.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering how you believe your relationship with Lush Hair can take your efforts to the next level.
So it's women empowerment for me is very important, especially in this part of the world, because you tend to do a lot of things by yourself. You don't really have the backing of the government or the banking system.
Okay.
So it's great when you get the B2B connection, when you get businesses that come on board, they want to empower you, they want to take you to the next level. And I find that with Lush Hair, they're very engaged and very concerned about how we run our business, how we engage with women, and how we can transform them and make them feel confident and make them feel beautiful.
There have to have been some bumps in the road. You know, it can't have just been this rosy. I know you say you've been doing this for a year now.
Yeah.
So talk to us about some of the challenges you've had.
The biggest challenges that you have in Nigeria, I think number one would be power and water. It's been a big issue for us, especially because you're running a salon. So power has to be consistent and clean water is very important for the washing of hair. Also, client satisfaction. I mean, you can't please everybody, to be quite honest. But we've got a fantastic customer feedback rate. Maybe out of 100%, I would say 95%. So we've been doing that effectively well. And I think for me, those are the two major challenges. Running a business in Nigeria is challenging in itself. But with consistency and perseverance, I think...
But don't you think that has something to do with your personality? Do you think it's something you especially give to the business? What's different about what you personally give to it that other people do not have?
I run my business like it's family orientated.
Okay.
So from housekeeping right up to management level, everybody's treated the same. We are one team.
Okay.
There is no hierarchy. There is nobody walking around like the boss. You can catch me in my salon sweeping or assisting with the braiding. So for me, I think when you invest in people, you tend to get success rather quickly because people make a business. So I always say to my team, teamwork makes the dream work. Without them, there wouldn't be an us. So I think that's what's different from me and probably a lot of other people.
I'm thinking about this team that you've been able to develop, that braid hair, for instance, they braided this in 3 hours. I've got so many great comments about my hair. And I'm thinking there must be some kind of training process, some kind of mentorship you're giving. Can you talk to us about that?
So it's something that's funny enough. When I had my strategy meeting yesterday, something that we discovered that is one of our trade secrets, how we invest in our staff. It's very important. We have low staff retention, which is absolutely fantastic. Most of the people that started with me last year, March, they're still on the books and they don't plan to go anywhere. It's just the little touch, taking extra time to listen to what your employees need and providing it for them and providing an environment that's conducive where they can thrive and they believe that they can grow as well. So I can't say everything because then I'll be giving away my secret recipe.
Of course. A big shout out to our friends at Lush Hair, of course. I'm thinking about the hair on your head right now. This is Lush Hair you're wearing?
Yes, this is Lush Hair I'm wearing.
Okay. And now the texture of Lush Hair, do you believe it's easier for your staff to use than others?
Yes.
You know, there's some challenges with some other brands.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm not going to mention the other brands' names.
Of course.
But what we find with Lush Hair is that it's the tangle-free, easy braid, and easy to seal with the hot water as well. And a lot of clients have also complimented the lightness of the hair, which is very important because synthetic hair carries a lot of weight. So clients like long hair, they like big braids, they necessarily don't want the weight associated with it. So I find that with Lush extensions, it's a lot lighter and easier to carry, and it has this natural shine to it. So right now it looks like I've got hair sheen on my hair, but no, it's the natural shine of the extensions.
This is the natural shine.
It's the natural shine of the extension.
I think it's amazing what you're doing, what you've been able to achieve. Thank you so much for coming to share with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And, well, here's to more success at Braiding Vault.
Thank you so much.
A big shout out to our friends once again at Lush Hair for coming on board this one. And yeah, we're going a little more Afrocentric with our braiding of our hair across TVC these days. And you should check that out too. We're going to be taking a quick break and be back with more. It's still Wake Up Nigeria.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I actually like that song. Anyways, welcome back to the kitchen. This is Wake Up Nigeria. And here with me is Chef Anu, and this morning we are making avocado toast bread. I know. Someone watching right now is like, yummy. I know, right? Now let's talk about the ingredients.
Okay, so our eggs are already fried.
Okay.
Yeah, then our avocados have been mashed already, so we just want to spread them on our bread.
Okay. Now let's talk about what went into the eggs.
Okay, so we had a mixture of salt, black pepper, soya spice, and barbecue spice.
And let's not forget the icing on the cake, the cherry on top, which is knorr. This egg would not be made possible without the extra touch from knorr. Yes. And for our avocado, what do you have in there?
Okay, so we just added our black pepper and salt. Yeah.
All right, great. So now we are ready to spread and make
toast.
Okay, our toast. All right. Now we earlier mentioned our toast is here.
Yes.
And do you need me to plug it in?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we all know how to use a toast machine. I mean, like, it's basically nothing. You just put the bread in because the wires are not long enough. Yes, the wires are not long enough, so you'll be able to see us toast it. But just so you don't know, like you've never seen what a toast machine, this is what it looks like, basically, yeah. So we'll just show you how it's done. This is it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're just going to show them how we are going to put our eggs in, avocado, and then place in the toast so that they see what it looks like. Yeah, great. So we have our butter. We're going to spread that on. Let me help you with that. Let's take some butter out of here. And place it on the bread. Okay. And then I didn't even know we're going to use a spread. You know, I asked earlier on if we're going to use a spread. So you could also use mayonnaise if you like, right? Okay, great. And then what goes in next?
So, avocado.
Okay. We're going to spread that on as well.
Yes.
This is quite healthy. Well, the thing with the bread, you could actually, use any kind of bread. You can use your wheat bread. You can use your regular buns. I mean, any kind, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. And so what's going in next? Our eggs, right?
Eggs.
Great. I see that you already cut this up.
Yes. Well, exactly.
Great. And look at that. That looks good. Okay. And we're going to toast it. You see, it's a very, very easy recipe, and it's also very fun. It's got that whimsical side to it. I actually love it, which is the avocado. You know, it gives it that, oof, great. I love, love, love it. Yeah, so we're just going to toast that up quickly, and then you see what it looks like when it's ready. On to some nutrition discussion up next.
I'm looking at that avocado and I'm thinking, okay, we're talking nutrition. That's healthy, isn't it? It is, right? Okay, so talking about healthy stuff, we love talking about babies and how they feed well and all. And to do justice to nutrition today is Ineka Ogoy. Now, Ineka is a baby food entrepreneur, an investment manager, and a mother. As a working mom, Ineka holds a business degree from the University of Stanford, Canada, and a certificate in child nutrition and cooking offered by Stanford University as well. Now, today, she will be discussing why babies reject certain food. And the big one, the one that will definitely have our moms and grandmoms and great-grandmoms who are still alive raising their eyebrows, force feeding. Great to have you on the show, Ineka.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so before we go force feeding, and then they're like, children of this generation, they don't know what they are talking about. Let's start from the easy one.
Yes.
Dealing with babies who don't like certain foods.
So this one's a big one. It's a big pain point for so many households. And the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that it's more common than people think. So even in households where you feel that there are children who are foodies, we all have our struggles.
Yes.
Because every child goes through phases. So,
I prefer chicken. I don't want fish.
Exactly. And it starts as early as when you're introducing solids, so from the age of 6 months. And the biggest part of this is a miscommunication issue.
How do you communicate with a 6-month-old?
That is the problem. Because we don't speak the same language.
We definitely don't.
Exactly. They're not able to tell us what their preferences are.
It's this?
Yes.
Nah.
Exactly. So all they can do is, I'll take it or I won't. And we see a lot of I won't, and we take that as, oh, my child is picky, my child is not going to eat. So it stems from a number of things. First of all is portion sizes. We've talked about portion sizes before, where a child knows what's best for them. And as a society, we also have this distorted view on portion sizes. Take, for example, a toddler. Portion sizes of bread for a toddler should be half a slice. But you have caregivers or parents that give a toddler 1 or 2 slices.
And before.
Exactly. And if a child eats only half and then runs away, you're like, this child doesn't like eating. They will just pick small and run away. But they've actually eaten what is
enough for them.
So you might label that child as, you know, she just picks a little bit and runs away. But that's actually not
Just
the
as
case.
an aside, I think this is, I dare say parents, especially on this side, this part of the world, we are responsible for children who overeat, because we are the ones who cause it.
Yeah. And even it's even when we were younger, because a lot of times when we were younger, you hear, finish your food, finish your food. That was a
full cooler.
You know, a normal thing. So that has a role to play in it. The second thing is also visuals. Children are very visual eaters. So before they accept anything, they're looking at it. It has to look like something I want to try. And the thing is, even adults are that way too. Say, for example, you're not Nigerian, and you've been presented with beans the way we make it for the first time. You may or may not want to try it, because it might look maybe like poop or something, right?
True.
So you might not be willing to try it. And kids have a right to have those preferences as well. But with parents, we just feel, you know, eat this because this is what you're supposed to eat. And we don't really allow them to explore and get comfortable before trying things. So visuals are a big, big part of it. And another thing is trying different ways. So for example, if your child doesn't like beans, you can try moi moi, you can try akara. There are so many different ways, because with kids, your focus is on the actual foods and nutrients, not the particular way that you're serving it. So you need to be creative and try different ways to understand what is it that your child needs or prefers. So some kids will like things that are sugary, some will like savory, some people like cold foods, some people like warm, some people like crunchy, and some people like mushy stuff.
How do you make beans crunchy?
No, not beans. I'm just talking about food.
I was just thinking
well,
of it.
if you make akara, for example, that's a bit more crunchy than the regular beans. But what if
the child doesn't like akara?
But you wouldn't know that unless you try it.
Yeah, but what if you've tried it?
And that's another good point, because some people think, okay, I've tried it and it's not working, but it can take up to 15, 20 exposures to a particular food.
15, 20?
Honestly, yes. because
being a parent is a patient job.
It's exactly, and it's with everything, not just food. So even like potty training or teaching them to read or write, it's not the first time you introduce them to something that they're going to get it. So you need to be patient and keep at it. Consistency is a very big part of the journey, and that's where the hard work is, really. But sometimes we put all the pressure on the kids. You're not eating, but we actually need to.
At this point, I'm beginning to wonder if exclusive for 1 year is not too long. But let's move away from that and talk about the force feeding parts.
Yes.
So force feeding is literally, and I'm not exaggerating, a part of our culture. When children don't eat as much as you expect, you have this elderly person in your family, even my younger sister can do it, carry your child under the armpit and then one rock.
It's heartbreaking actually, because some kids actually die.
Yes, they
from
choke.
that experience. Yeah. Yes, they choke, and sometimes particles of food can actually get in the lungs and cause pneumonia. So you have kids that have breathing issues later on in life. So it's very unfair to put a child through that. And I always try to explain to people that it's a very hostile situation to put a child in. If I came to visit you 3 times a day, and every time I came we're fighting, you're not going to want to see me. So they're never going to have a good relationship with feeding or eating.
So it's a very bad idea.
It's terrible.
Okay, I really wish we had the time to talk about this. Unfortunately, we cannot, but that is something that she was going to talk about, talking about food that you could make for your children, creative stuff to do, mixture of chocolates, dates, coconut oil and all. Inside there, cubing it. I wish I could show it to you, but don't worry. We'll find a way to get it across to you on social media. All right, a very big thank you to you, Ineka Ogboy.
Thank you.
We need to take this break. Wake Up Nigeria continues in a bit. Stay with us.
Now, if the first hour wasn't magical, well, I guess there's an even bigger name to call
Where's
it.
the wand?
Where's
the wand?
Welcome back and to the second lap of your #1 breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried. But you've actually been planted. It's time for you to germinate. Planted for amazing things.
Yes, sir.
And, you know,
talking about amazing things, we still have an amazing 45 minutes left.
Yes.
And we promise that every single minute we'll be keeping you right there in your seat.
Yeah.
Fair warning, we're extremely addictive and we operate on a different spectrum. You need to,
And then, you know, go the extra mile with us today. It's never crowded there. And of course, stay and follow us through this edition of our Wonder Women Wednesday. And talking about wonderful things happening today, I just have to quickly chip this in. A quick shout out to the amazing Damiti. We call him the world famous Damiti. Happy birthday to you. And this is from your guy, Shegs, who happens to be talking in my ears right now. Hi, Shegs. But yes, happy birthday to you, Damiti.
My name is Titilayo Onyison.
And my name is Mary Basho Alimi. And we've got Ime Okoche in the kitchen right now. Looking all fly.
She went all out with my name. Interesting, Mary. Yes, I'm still here. And as you can see, our toast bread is ready and ready to eat.
Okay, we sure can't wait to dig into that. We sure can't wait. And talking about digging into stuff, know that you can watch us from absolutely anywhere in the world. All you need to do is download our app on the Google or iOS store.
Yes, indeed. Follow us across all socials as well, Facebook, Instagram, @TVC Connect. And of course, we have quite a lot lined up for you to watch. Okay, you know, there's just so much happening, and I'm always so interested in getting people's opinions. So I saw a post online. Let me see if I can find it. Now, if you're spending less than 50K monthly on your babe, you need to let her go and find real love of her life because you're clearly not ready for commitment. How does that work?
If you're spending less than 50,
if you're spending less than 50K monthly,
see, it has gotten to that point that guys should just carry and then start. I don't understand. What is all this pressure for?
That's his opinion, and that's how he lives his life. It doesn't mean everyone has to.
So, someone spending more than 50K is more committed than the person spending less. I don't get it.
Well, I guess he's also referring to the realities which, you know, some
relationships, you know, are based on right now. I mean, you have to be able to spend on a woman for her to be able to reciprocate the love that you expect, or the attention or care or whatever. You know.
There was a lady that actually broke down the number of hours she spends in the office, and she broke down her salary. And she says she gets about 3,000 naira per hour.
Wow, she's well paid.
In the office. Yes, that's what she's...
24,000 per day.
In Nigeria. Definitely not in Nigeria.
Calm down. Yeah, let's forget where she's from. But she's breaking it down like that. So she's saying if she spends 4 hours babying you, maintaining you, how much is she getting in terms of the value for her time and her attention?
Okay.
That's another topic.
So that 50,000 is not enough for such a lady. But last, everybody will be all right.
Right. Talking about
we'll go for some fact finding, Abby.
Welcome back. Now it's time for a news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Oyinson. IPOB lawyer and lead counsel to Nnamdi Kanu, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, says he has confirmed through a correspondence from the Federal High Court, Abuja, the arrest and extradition of his client, Mr. Ejiofor. He said he was brought before the Federal High Court, number 2, Abuja, yesterday, on an 11-count charge through which, without his knowledge, apparently, following the adjournment of the case to the 26th day of July 2021 for a continuation of the trial, he says that a legal team led by him will be in court on this date. He says Nnamdi Kanu must be given a fair hearing trial, which is his constitutionally protected right. The Makurdi Zonal Office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arraigned the chairman of the Benue State Independent Electoral Commission, Loko Joseph, the secretary, Seriki Mansa, the treasurer, Akanje Akula, and 5 other members, commissioners, before Justice Abdu Adogo of the Federal High Court in Makurdi. The defendants are facing 23 count charges bordering on money laundering of about 500 million naira, on conspiracy, criminal breach of trust, misappropriation, money laundering, and forgery. The defendants pleaded not guilty to the charges preferred against them. They have been granted bail to the sum of 10 million naira each, with one surety in like sum, and the case has been adjourned till the 28th of September 2021 for commencement of trial. The police in Delta State have arrested 3 suspected ritualists and 1 native doctor in 2 separate operations in different parts of the state. According to the acting public relations officer of the Delta State Police Command, Edafe Bright, personnel in Ekpan Uvie local government area acting on intelligence arrested 1 Godfrey Akuje in possession of 2 skulls, who also made confessional statements that one of the skulls was from Osun State and the other of a dead sister of one Ejiro Okoro. In a related development, personnel of the police on a stop-and-search operation arrested 3 suspected men at Unsukwa Junction, Anyocha South, who boarded a commercial vehicle in possession of fresh human blood filled in a container. The suspects confessed to have murdered someone in Ebonyi State and were taking the blood to a native doctor in Kwale for ritual purposes before they were caught. Outside Nigeria now, South Africa's former president, Jacob Zuma, has been sentenced to 15 months by the highest court in the country. This came after the Constitutional Court found him guilty of contempt after defying the court's order to appear at an inquiry into corruption while he was president. Mr. Zuma's time in power, which ended in 2018, was dogged by graft allegations. Businessmen were accused of conspiring with politicians to influence the decision-making process, and former president made one appearance at the inquiry into what has become known as the state capture, but then refused to appear subsequently.
Determining the length of sentence, the majority has considered the unique circumstances of this matter, the nature of the breach, and the extent to which the breach is ongoing. Not only has Mr. Zuma failed to dispute the contempt of court, he has also failed to contest the degree of the contempt. Instead, he has aggravated it. the majority judgment orders an unsuspended sentence of imprisonment for a period of 15 months.
And that's all we have time for on the news on Wake Up Nigeria.
Nigeria, we have beautiful music, and on to great conversation on this morning is relationship expert Sandra Odufaderi. She's a marriage and relationship expert, and this morning she'll be joining us to give her thoughts on the topic, moving on from heartbreak. Good morning.
Good morning, MM.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
I'm great, thank you. Now, moving on from heartbreak. That is a really interesting topic.
Exactly.
Tell us.
Now first, I want you to know, before I continue our conversation, that before anybody make up their mind that they want to walk out of you, they didn't just make up their mind that day. They've made up their mind a year, 6 months, 3 months ago. They would have thought about some things that they couldn't cope with. They would have tried to manage some things that did not work. And now they just made up their mind and say, I'm done. It doesn't matter whatever reason it is. So that is why you shouldn't sleep on it. It's allowed to cry when you move on. It's allowed because you have been so close to this person. He's your soulmate. She's your soulmate. And from nowhere, this person is just coming to say, I'm done. Now, the best revenge to a heartbreak is to be successful. I always say to people, now this is now time for you to do those things you couldn't do. It's now time for you to attend those classes you couldn't attend. Build yourself. If you're fat, go.
Let's take this one step at a time, because someone watching this right now is probably heartbroken. And they're like, how do I move on from this heartbreak? My life is over. I'm in pieces. How do I start? Now let's take it one step at a time. What are the first steps to take right after this breakup?
One of the first steps to take after breakup is to cry. It's allowed to cry.
How long should you cry for?
Cry yourself out, but don't cry for too long. Don't stay there for too long. Cry very well, and then now the next step is to analyze, where did I go wrong? What happened? Why did he walk out on me, or why did she walk out on me? Then analyze it, and then make up your mind to enhance yourself and move on. Don't stay there, because if you stay there, the truth is that the person that walked out of you had already planned himself, pre-planned his or herself on how he's going to walk out his life. Now, another step to take is that delete his number or her number. Delete social media, whatever you had together.
But you know, that's difficult, because that's where a lot of ladies have realized or have perfected their detective skills. You know, then they go stalking their ex-lover.
Stalking and seeing if there's another person in his life. You're killing yourself. And then just discontinue communication. When you discontinue communication, you don't talk to yourself anymore. It's very difficult in the first 1 month, 2 months, but over time, if you don't talk to this person for 3 months, you don't get to see yourself. You make friends. Don't keep to yourself. Don't isolate yourself. Go out to genuine people that love you and make friends. You find out that you start looking at it. Have you ever seen, I don't know, you look at your ex and you're like, it wasn't me. Was I the one that dated this person? So if you want to move out of breakup, don't sleep crying all day and say, oh, he did this to me, he did that to me. The person has the right to move on if he's not working out. Now look at everything you did to make that relationship work out, and it didn't work out. And the more you keep stalking the person, calling the person, wanting to hang around the person, you're killing yourself. We still have some people, they still want to hang around, like having intimacy, having that with private time with the ex. The ex might just call and say, let's just be friends with benefits.
Yes,
you're killing yourself, because you can never move on. In that case, he cannot bring his own relationship, new relationship to you and say, accept it.
Now, we've seen cases where people, to get over their heartbreak, they get involved with other people, because, you know, it helps them, you know, mend their broken hearts faster.
Yeah.
Would you advise that?
Involved intimately or just friendship?
In any regard.
Yes, intimately, it's not good to jump into a relationship immediately after because you're working with your emotion, not with your head. And like I always say to people, it's good to walk in love, don't fall in love. Because if you're...
You're going to explain that, so Bob, go ahead.
Okay.
Walking in love and falling in love.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear that analogy, but
No
please
problem.
go ahead.
Now, if you jump into another relationship, that person might actually take advantage of you because all you will be talking about is your ex, how you didn't work, what he did to you, and sometimes you're crying. And the person takes advantage of you and then just walk away. But if you take your time to heal up from that relationship, it's allowed to have friends on a platonic basis. You can have friends on a platonic basis, and you guys are talking, he's helping you out, or she's helping you out to just be
So
there.
in the course of this relationship with your new friend, you should walk in love.
Walk in love.
Now, quickly, just briefly tell us what walking in love is and falling in love is. Quickly.
Okay, falling in love is you become, I don't want to use some words here, you become, you don't have say. The person is using everything on you. You are the one, so we have heard some people pay bride price. You are the one doing everything. You are falling completely for this person. Even when the person is wrong, you don't care. Something went viral last week. A lady went on the road and wrote her boyfriend's name and said, please forgive me, I won't do it again. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
okay.
she was carrying a placard.
So she is falling in love.
She's falling in love. But when you walk in love, you walk with your brain. So please, let's walk in love.
All right. Thank you so much, Sandra. It's always a pleasure having you with us. Thank you so much. I hope you watching has learned a thing or two. And if you have questions, please ask them on our social media platforms at TVC Connect. I'm sure Sandra Odufade will be hanging around to hear those thoughts. All right, and that's it for now. Next stop is an interesting guest. Stay with us.
Time for us to have a conversation with Oluwatoyin Adebanke Ladeinde, better known as Adeti Ladeinde. She is a young business entrepreneur based in Toronto, Canada. The CEO of Adiba Connector, a media house with sister branches such as Connector Call Magazine, Correct Commerce, as well as
Adiba, Connector TV, and more.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome to the couch. It's really interesting when we get to see profiles like this because it feels like a whole bunch of ideas, you know, just came out of nowhere, but there must have been a process. There must have been a journey to getting to where you are today. Yes. So how much of that can you share with us?
Okay, well, taking the fact that I grew up in Canada, so I had a lot of access to resources, information, that when new Canadians come in, new immigrants, Nigerians come in, it's easy for someone like me to be able to direct them in order to speed up their processing of settlement.
Okay.
And of course, going to school and taking immigration and refugee course makes it definitely much easier to do so.
Right. So in school, you actually studied immigration?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So you're more like the go-to person if someone wants to go to Canada, for example.
I'm one of them. There's processes. Well, I'm one of them.
So does this start from everything from travel plans to finding a house, finding a job, education?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely the go-to person for most things. I would direct you to where they can help you, they can assist you, and just to get your journey going.
Resourceful. That's very resourceful. Now, with what you've done, I can now understand, as in I have a better understanding of how you came up with Adiba Connector. Because I was trying to make sense of what it is about, but everything now has been able to come into perspective. But of course, just as you said, everything has a journey. Besides the fact that you studied, immigration and all the works, what point did you decide that, okay, this is probably what I am made to be, that person that helps people find their greener pastures, so to speak?
Yes, when I realized a lot of people were calling me, and I'm like, why are they asking me so much questions? I didn't put any sign that says I know all the answers. So right there, I'm like, hey, I can use this. I can brand this and make it work. Which I did, and that is how we birthed Adiba Connector.
So I have to bring it back to Nigerians now. Nigerians are not the easiest people to work with.
Boy.
any country of the world, you will find Nigerians there, but they are often skeptical, often have their own drama, often not as truthful as they should be. So how have you been able to, you know, get past all these challenges?
Wow. Let's say I'm still working on it. You know, given my background, I'm very Canadian. So being around a lot of especially the new immigrants, I'm adjusting to the way they think, the way they do things, and it's a bit different. But I believe I'm still learning, and I'm trying to advocate and trying to educate them that, listen, now you're over here, let's try to do things the way we do it here. You know, and that's just the best we can do.
Now, let's talk about what you do now. You just shared with us how you started the whole connector thing because people were calling you. Is it supposed to be like a way to maybe more like this is you being generous, or it's also a way for you to earn a living, or it's all a mix mash of both?
It's a mix of both.
Okay.
Because, like the Bible says, is your gift that makes way for you. It's not the work that you do 9 to 5. So I found my gift. Now I'm trying to make it work for me.
Okay.
Now, that connecting thing also has to do with the entertainment industry.
Of course.
Now, you're very involved in the entertainment industry in Canada, especially black entertainment. Tell us more about that.
Well, it's still quite, I would say, new. Because in Canada, we just haven't most Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians just coming into the country. So it's just building. So we're trying to do the best we can, especially for those who are one of the core members, trying to set the precedents for those who will be coming in later on. Because right now, Canada is still on lockdown. And we know there's a lot of processing. A lot of people are going to be coming in right after the lockdown is lifted. So we need to start making that pace for the new ones to come in order for us to be able to know what this is how we do it here in Canada for those who are coming into the entertainment industry. And that's just what it is. So I'm just one of those stones or pillars that it's a go-to, you know, to know how to go about.
I have to bring it back to Nigerians now, because there is a lot of, what's the word? Should I use the word stigma? Because there is that mindset of, okay, if everybody just migrates there, what's going to happen to the country? You know, I have to ask your opinion on this. You know, a lot of Nigerians are moving. What is the reason why they're moving? And do you have any opinion on whether they should stay back and help the country?
That's a load of question. A lot of people are moving because there's no security. You know, you could have the finances to be able to keep up with lifestyle here, but if there's no security, it's very hard for you to enjoy. Me, I've been here just about a week, and it's stressful. The little things we take for granted over there, I give it up to you guys. You guys do a lot, you know, and I find out is one of the reasons why a lot of people are migrating, because it makes life easier, not just for them, but also for their children. They don't want the children to have to struggle the way Nigerians are struggling in Nigeria. So I believe if that's something, you know, the governance could definitely tackle, most people won't be traveling the way they are right now.
So you do not see any chances of you probably relocating to Nigeria anytime soon?
Relocating, no. Visiting more often, yes. But relocating, I don't think so.
All right then.
So that's about it, really.
The magazine.
You know, we were talking about the connector. That's the Adeba connector, the magazine itself. What is it about? So I should have asked you about that earlier.
So the magazine Connector Core magazine, it's just another amplifier for those, like I said, who are just in the industry in Canada. And we're trying to bring it here just so that we can also let those here know what we're doing in Canada and how we're doing things in Canada. And we know a lot of people are migrating to Canada, so we want to give them information on how to go about things, not just after they arrive, but before they get here.
So they have a fair idea of
what's going on. So we're actually having a launching on the 1st of August, where we're going to be having a handful of people in there.
All right, so we'll be looking forward to that
I
as well.
am definitely so interested in asking more questions. You should reach us on social media at TVC Connect if you have some yourself.
All right.
But thank you so much for joining us.
We have breakfast for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. I do not think it's Canadian in any way.
Oh, boy.
But let's go have breakfast. Because at this rate, I feel like, you know, there's this stuff. Let's go. There's this stuff about Nigerians in the, you know, born abroad. There's always this talk of, oh, do they remember home?
Of course.
And, well, please sit. There you go.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So this is this is the chef.
Yes, this is Anu, and this morning she's made for you avocado toast bread.
Ooh, avocado.
I know,
It
right?
looks like you like that a lot.
I do.
Okay.
Okay, you seem like a fan of healthy eating.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Great. Okay, so I would just like you to try this while Anu tells us how she put this together.
Okay.
So the toast consists of...
So you can take it closer to you.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Anu.
Okay, it consists of mashed avocado with fried egg.
Okay.
That's
yes,
all.
that's all. Very
Oh, you
easy,
mash the avocado
simple.
with the fried eggs, or the eggs are also on top of it?
Yes, the fried eggs are on top of the mashed.
Avocado.
Yeah, so it's like an avocado spread, and then you have your omelette egg.
What do you
on
think?
it. Like it? Love it?
You're thinking, why didn't I include food business in my magazine?
It's there.
You're right? Okay.
I love avocado, so I think anything with avocado in it
Works for
is
you.
a go.
Okay,
Great.
that's great.
Thank you so much.
All right, so that's about it on the show today. Thank you so much for being a part of it all the way from 7 a.m. until now. Many thanks to all our contributors. Hi, Titi. Are you looking good then?
Who runs the world?
We girls do, and we know it. And we're sure telling you that you run the world too. You know why? Because you're always watching Wake Up Nigeria. Be sure to join us again tomorrow, bright and early, 7 a.m. sharp. We'll be here for you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.